Finding viable solution for energy crisis is gathering momentum and contemporary debate in India today. Energy is required in every walk of life and has great bearing on the socio-economic development of a country and its sovereignty. It is not India alone, but entire world is facing energy crisis. Energy intense economies of the developed world, copied with increasing demand from rapidly developing countries such as India, China and Brazil, is responsible for huge increase in demand. Trans-country pipelines through Indo-US nuclear deal and aggressive policy of securing petroleum fields in different parts of the world can be seen in light of the energy crisis. Reasons for energy crisis. The economic and national security is threatened by ever increasing energy prices accompanied by nations suffering from disruption of energy supplies, rising unemployment, increasing inflation, possibility of declining the economic growth and huge investment in different sectors are all threat to economic security of the country. Due to domestic production capacity, dependence on imports, excess registration of vehicles, industrialization, etc. In fact, there is more than enough energy around us, but the energy crisis is because we are unable to extract sufficient fuel from the earth to satisfy our needs, and we are not producing enough electricity using the various fuels. This results in an energy crisis in spite of abundant energy around us. So what is this energy crisis? Energy is basic necessity for life. Light and comfort are provided by the energy. During summer, it helps us to cool down and feel warm during winters. It is a means to commute between places, and all other transport require energy. Energy is not a solid, liquid or even a gas, but helps us to go from anywhere to everywhere. Light is a form of energy and electricity comes from power station. In hydroelectric power station, it is provided using the flow of water from a height in a dam. Water falling down from a height can move the blades of turbines which rotate the coils of wire of an electric generator. But not all electricity comes from hydroelectric power station. There are other power stations such as thermal power stations which use coal or natural gas to heat water, produce steam at higher pressure, which is also used to turn the blades of turbine. In nuclear power stations, thorium and uranium is required in enormous amount. Due to fast growth of India and Chinese economies, crude oil price might go higher. So under non-renewable energy, first let me take coal. India has extractable reservoir and has production of 407 million tons as per 2008 statistics, and the rate of growth of production is going to be very high in coming years, and prediction indicated depletion of coal in 40 years due to large quantity of peaking of production by 2050. It is also noticed that usage of coal in power contributes substantially to the carbon dioxide emissions and fly ash pollution few kilometers around the power plant. As per Indian Atomic Energy Commission, that is IAEC, it is estimated that the present uranium availability for nuclear power capacity for next 30 years would be adequate only for 10,000 megawatts. Although India has vast reserves of thorium, but we are yet to install the reactors due to safety problems, especially after Chernobyl incident. There are some developed countries who are thinking of replacing nuclear plants with renewable energy generations. The consumption of electricity is growing on the worldwide basis. Energy is a necessary evil, and due to industrial revolution, global warming and carbon dioxide emission have enormous impact on global warming and other issues. Many countries are making their own arrangements to reduce the global warming. It is need of the hour to address environmental concerns and to make spontaneous fission of certain elements like uranium to other elements provides energy to produce steam. Power breakdown are common feature in India. Therefore, we often install generator or an inverter which is an alternative source of electricity. The generator produces electricity using petrol, diesel or kerosene. These fuels are much useful to run the engines and works on the same technology as automobile engine that can rotate coils of an electric generator just like a power station. Inverter supplies electricity stored in a lead acid battery, and certain chemical changes enable a lead acid battery to store electricity which is made available during power breakdown. Different form of energy is converted into electric energy in these different sources of electricity. It is potential energy of water in a dam that is used to produce electricity in a hydroelectric station. It is the chemical energy in the fuels or in the lead acid battery that is converted into electrical energy in thermal power station, a portable generator or inverter. This is the unity in diversity of all forms of energy. Petroleum products are the number one sources of fuel at the moment, and this group includes such products as oil, gasoline, diesel, fuel and propane. Of this group, only oil occurs naturally in a liquefied form as propane and is a gas and liquefied during processing. Further, this group of non-renewable resources is held to be responsible for the bulk of damage to the ecology, but the only stands to reason as it is the largest group of fuels used for energy and in the production of electricity. The government of India is pursuing other avenues also in order to achieve energy security. Government has entered into an agreement with countries like Qatar for the supply of petrol has been established for the purpose of import, storing and marketing of LNG in India. Natural gas. Most people are not aware of the fact that natural gas is comprised largely of methane that resulted from decaying plants and animals millions of years ago. Over time, the earth built up around this decaying organic matter and trapped the gases between layers of earth and rock. An interesting fact here is that some of the organic material was changed by heat and pressure into petroleum oil and coal, while pockets of natural gas remain trapped within the earth's crust, which is where we find it today. total energy consumption in India for average per capita is around 500 units per annum. Major contribution to electrical energy generation is by coal, oil basin, followed by hydro and nuclear power generating stations. Many experts are of the opinion that by 2015, the supply of oil and natural gas will have transitioned from conventional energy system to those based on renewable source. Renewable energy produces electricity from environmental friendly sources and carbon dioxide emission and pollution are negligible. First, let me take up solar energy. All forms of energy, including fossil, hydroelectric, wind, water, biomass, and solar energy, where sun is the major source. Sunlight is available in abundance in our country and is not properly trapped. We have the potential energy in just 1 hour of sunlight to power the electrical needs of a full year. Solar energy requires minimum maintenance and lot of tax incentives and rebates are available from the government. Hardly there is any carbon dioxide emission and impact on the environment. Average 100 to 130 watts of energy is generated from 1 square meter of the solar panel. Energy generated is stored using a battery with controller and solar panel which lasts for 20 years. Most of the developed countries are switching over to solar electricity as one of the prime renewable source. Wind energy. In the earlier days, wind energy was used to propel ships. Wind energy came into prominence after the acute oil shortage and price shock in 1973. Production of renewable energy is mainly contributed by the wind turbines. From the last 1 decade, wind farming is gaining prominence and sizable growth has taken place since then. For total self-sustainability, wind could be combined with solar and both are found to be complementary to each other. India ranked as a wind superpower having net potential of about 45,000 megawatts only from 13 identified states. Coming to hydroelectric power. Energy crisis could be addressed more effectively by starting new hydroelectric power stations. But new hydroelectric power projects are facing stiff opposition from the local people and environmentalists. Resettlement of displaced people with lands is a major issue. Runoff in rivers is decreasing year by year due to change in environment. Biomass. All biodegradable products on earth are called biomass. Biomass is produced by all living beings on the earth. Various kinds of organic waste, including animal waste, many byproducts are the source of biomass. Burning of wood to eat or cook is one of the efficient ways used bioenergy and is a source of 3 billion people in the world. In 2005, burning of wood alone produced more energy when compared to all the nuclear energy put together. Biomass power is the largest source of renewable energy as well as vital part of waste management. United States is currently producing 7,800 megawatts of power supply only from the biomass. Dedicated energy crops are another source of woody biomass for energy. These crops are fast growing herbaceous biomass which is harvested specifically for energy production. A large amount of energy is expanded in the cultivation of sugarcane, food grains, vegetables, and fruits, which can be recovered by energy rich residues. These plants provide generation of clean electric power through environmentally safe waste management. These plants produce clean and renewable energy through biochemical and physico-chemical methods. The growing use of waste to energy plants to generate power has greatly reduced environmental impacts of municipal solid waste and emission of greenhouse gases. The growth of bioenergy industry can also be achieved by laying more stress on green power, that is tidal energy generation from sea or ocean waves, micropower. It is also called micro generation of zero or low carbon electrical power by individual businesses and communities to meet their own needs. The more commonly used micro generation include turbines, solar power, photovoltaic or biomass conversion systems have been promoted since decades as alternatives to renewable energy. Because of technological advances, micro generation includes handheld solar and wind power, recharging devices for personal electronics, as well as advanced photovoltaic and wind turbine system to power factories and homes. Coming to another important aspect, the nuclear energy. The nuclear energy program faced problem of non-availability of natural uranium for rapid expansion of nuclear energy in the country. The uranium naturally occurs in small quantities in India, and as per Nuclear Proliferation Treaty, that is NPT, India cannot import natural uranium since it is not signatory to NPT. India-US nuclear deal, which envisages that US will cooperate with India for the development of civilian nuclear technology. Establishment of nuclear reactors in India is still far from reality because of resistance from environmentalists and people residing in the proposed locations. Former Honorable President Dr. Abdul Kalam has released a roadmap for achieving the energy security for the nation. He stressed the importance of contribution by hydroelectric power and nuclear power for the energy security. He also laid emphasis on conventional sources as well as renewable sources of energy such as wind power for energy security of the country. Nuclear energy is being offered as a panacea for energy crisis being faced by India. Nuclear energy is location independent sources of energy, that is, unclear reactor can be set in any locality to supply electricity. Further, nuclear fuel is cheaper than petroleum. India has gained a considerable expertise in the development and harnessing of nuclear energy. Indo-US nuclear deal should be seen in light of the projected benefits of nuclear energy. NSG rules are modified in a way so that India would be able to receive natural uranium as well as advanced nuclear technologies for civilian use. The deal in turn obliges India to demarcate its civilian as well as military establishment under the IAEA regime. Biodiesel and ethanol. There is a debate going on in government circle that those two could solve energy crisis in India. Ethanol is produced from sugarcane and mixed with petrol. USA and Brazil are already using ethanol on larger scale. Sugarcane farming could be invariably increased in country because of excess usage of ethanol. Biodiesel is obtained by processing oil obtained from various plant seeds. Jatropha is being promoted in vast wastelands of the country. This biodiesel plant could be overcome the huge oil import and price certainty by growing in 60 million hectares of wasteland available in the country. Natural gas cannot be a permanent replacement for oil. To use natural gas in day-to-day life, for example transport fuel, requires extensive infrastructure build-up. Transportation of Delhi has shifted to running all public transportation on gas, greatly reducing the air pollution. India does not have large gas reserves, and therefore the best option for India is to obtain gas from Iran, but gas pipeline across Pakistan may have significant security liabilities. In India, year to date up to May 2011, domestic passenger vehicles have exceeded the sale in 2010. Energy consumption demand has not yet slowed in India. Cost of energy inputs and transportation costs are significant. Market pricing, hydrocarbon fuels, reforms of state electricity boards, public transportation, etc., energy metering are all necessary. Energy is need of the hour for modern civilization. Coal, oil and natural gas together supply 85% of the world energy supply in 2008. Oil 37%, coal 25%, gas 23%, in addition to nuclear, biomass and hydroelectric power. Coal, nuclear and hydro are used primarily to make electricity. Natural gas is widely used for heating. Biomass, which usually means wood or diesel, dung, is used for heating and cooking. The percentage usage of wind and solar power is small, but in future they play important role in combating evils of energy crisis.